All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. As always, I appreciate it. You guys could be doing something else. Instead, you're watching me and my bullshit. So, thank you. So, obviously, guys, today we're going to talk about what happened earlier today. I'm not sure if people are still experiencing phone problems, but we're going to get into it in a little bit. So, Scott Dow, thank you for the 5x5. Flown Grown, Lisa, Carrie, Ocul. Oh God, I can never say his name. Occult. Pretty sure I said that wrong. Ozark, Cat Girl, thank you for 5x5. WTC, Finley the Dog, Jeep Girl, Blackfoot, Adriana, thank you for the 5x5. Mary, Timothy, Bush Pig, Stephanie, Jean, Lisa, Jean, SF, thank you for the 5x5. Maria, Tina, thank you for the 5x5. Rosary, Prep to Adapt, thank you for the 5x5. Groundhog, Loretta, Murder, Timothy, Beef and Chicken, Cat Girl, thank you for 5x5. Guys, if you do not mind, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. Patty, Mike, Mind Your Action, Barefoot, Sojourner, thank you for 5x5. Lisa, Maybe So, thank you for the Hipster by Hipster. Lisa, thank you for 5x5. Paul F, 1 second after, thank you for the 6x6. Hunter, thank you for the 9x9. And everybody else, thank you if I missed it. So, all right. Some people were freaking out today, I think. There were some YouTube channels that I heard were freaking out. I didn't listen to them myself, so I really can't speak on it. But as far as them freaking out, but I am pretty sure they were. So for those who might not have known, cell phone service was disrupted for a lot of people. I know a lot of people will say, I know a lot of people say that it was a cyber attack, which has not been confirmed. People are saying that it's a solar flare. That is a more BS excuse. I'm leaning towards the cyber attack for a couple of reasons I'm going to discuss in a little bit. So anyway, at first it seemed that AT&T phones only were being disrupted. Then it seems like every other carrier service throughout the day started getting disrupted. So my phone did get disrupted, but only for an hour, and an hour exactly during the afternoon. Now, there were other guys, and I was at work, so I asked another guy who I was working with. I was like, listen, what service you have? He says AT&T. I go, is your phone working? He checks his phone, and he goes, yeah, I still got signal, it's working. I go, mine is in SOS mode. And then that was it. I went to do what I want to do. And he said, weird. And I find that very weird, guys. If we're both on AT&T, why was my phone in SOS mode, but his phone wasn't? So, yes, leave the world behind is a conspiracy theory that a lot of people are going right to. And Christian Prepper said some banks and interaction payments were disrupted in East Coast of Canada. They confirmed. Sick and Ghostly said they confirmed that it was a cyber attack, not Solar Well, yeah, Solar definitely not. I'm going to, and both Sickly and Ghastly, and Kevin said they both confirmed it was cyber attack. All right. Sorry. But you know what? I'm tempted to look it up real quick. Let's see. Because I didn't see much today. Now, cyber attack hit Malawi Immigration Service. Cyber attack 2 days ago on Colorado Public Defense System caused moderate problems. And AT&T outage, look at this bullshit, caused by software update, not malicious intent. That was today. So for those that got cyber attack confirmation, do me a favor. If you have an article where you got it from, please send it over to me. But they're already starting with their BS excuse. And this is CBS News CBSnews.go.com. Excuse me. They're stating that it was a software update. Not likely. Again, that's a BS, what you call it. And then there are a couple other cyber attacks that happened throughout the country, or rather throughout the world, a day or two ago. And U.S. company hit by Colossus cyber attack. That was, July 21st. But they are saying, guys, that this cell phone thing is not a cyber attack. Okay. So here we go. People weren't believing the solar flare, right? People weren't, the solar flare, that's stupid. If it was solar flare, everybody's phone would have reacted the same way, for the most part. But when again, once I knew that my phone was shut down, not shut down, but it was in SOS mode, and the guy that I was working with, who was just like a couple of feet away from me, his phone didn't shut down, that I was leaning towards cyber attack. But I don't want to say it was confirmed until I get confirmation myself. And sorry guys, not just through the chat system, but something where I can read. Now already mainstream media is trying to say, or rather AT&T is trying to say, that it was an outage caused by software update. The other problem is other carriers were also affected as well. And Verizon, if I'm not mistaken, according to Prepper Revelator, he says that his wife got an email stating that if you had Verizon, your cell phone service wasn't disrupted. It was only disrupted if you were calling those who had AT&T. So they were trying to push it off on AT&T as well. So why would they not claim, or why would they get away from it being a solar issue? Well, because that it was a cyber attack, because if it was a cyber attack, guys, people will start panicking. That is why they're getting away from it. That is why they're going the route of software update. I mean, listen, dude, a software update is the lamest excuse you could possibly come up with. Nonetheless, they are absolutely, guys, going to deny this because they don't want to. They want to pump fear when it's good for them. So if it's anything else, guys, they're going to lie about it. If a meteor the size of Texas was headed to us right now, they would lie about it. They wouldn't want us to panic and flip out. If this thing was a cyber attack, they don't want us to panic and flip out. They want us to panic and flip out when it serves them, as they did during Mr. 19. They threw that shit out there at us, and though people didn't, there was a run on the stores, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be assholes and elbows, but it wasn't. It turned out to be a lot more orderly than we thought. Nonetheless, people still ran to the supermarket bearing a lot of the shelves, taking a lot of stuff, taking more than, not what was needed, but they took exactly what they needed, excuse me. And people were claiming that they took more than what they needed. But this, guys, just had a weird feel to it. And now I remember I'm sitting on the rig, and and this is all going on. I look at my phone, I put it down. I don't even want to look at it because I'm disgusted. Because I'm like, if this gets worse and other guys start losing signals, then this is definitely something to worry about. But I wasn't going to worry about it until then. And that was the thing. And not even worry about it. I was just like, in my head, I'm starting a war game. All right, got to make it home, establish the preps, get the solar generators, which are already charged, to make sure they're working and functional. And I checked a lot of them last week, so they're fine. But you got to check it again when some shit like this happens. And get home, check that out. Start making a plan on what we're going to eat, how we're going to eat, how we're going to heat things up, what we're going to heat up first. Like, again, and I have all of these plans already, not written out per se, but already planned out in my head. But I'm going over it again. And then I continue the day. I didn't look at my phone again until we were done shopping. I looked at my phone. I'm like, oh, look, my phone's back on. And then that was that. Yeah, Daddy Blunt. Yeah, a software update took out all these phones. What was it, up to 70,000 phones or some shit like that? Or 700,000 phones were affected by this? So, yeah. A lot of people were a little more nervous than they should have been. But again, you have YouTube channels, who once once they got the signal back, if they even lost it at all, screaming, crying, and carrying on. You know, the more listen, that's the least of our problems. I'm not worried about that. Again, if it happens, if this was a test run, then this could be concerning. If it was a test run, if it was just some shit that they tried and failed at, we should still be not worried, but we should definitely be paying closer attention and definitely reinforcing our preps. Because if this does in fact go down, guys, it's going to take a while for shit to go back in order. Now, a lot of people seem to think that once this gets initiated, we're toast. Not necessarily true. Because there are hackers who can fight this off. There are hackers that can solve this problem. So it won't be indefinite. It won't be like an EMP. An EMP is definite. It's indefinite. Like, we're talking about years before we get back online. So, some people say anywhere between 3 to 6 months to years. That's an EMP. This can also be years, but again, with the amount of hackers that are out there, with the amount of computer engineers, and there's some smart fucking people out there, I don't think it's going to last that long. But it'll probably last long enough to throw us into a chaotic state that'll be hard to recover from. So even though we get the power back and shit, the recovery part is the problem. People seem to think with a cyber attack, if a cyber attack goes longer than, let's say, just 2-3 days, we got pandemonium chaos. If the power comes back on in day 3 or 4, we still got pandemonium and chaos. To recover is the hard part. That's the hard part that's going to take hold, is the recovery aspect. And yes, the cryptocurrency argument, man, the more involved technology gets, the argument for cryptocurrency went out the window a long time ago. I remember arguing with people over cryptocurrency because, if I'm not mistaken, Old Gold King mentioned it. No, Joel mentioned it. He mentioned cryptocurrency, and I remember having an argument about cryptocurrency and like, yo, if the power goes out, your cryptocurrency doesn't work. And, these cryptocurrency idiots were like, yes, it will. The power will never go out like that. Really? So with that, the power going out, just, in their world, it doesn't happen. It never happens. And I think to myself that those who think the power will never go out, and I'm like, I don't understand it. Anyway, guys, cryptocurrency is useless without the power. I don't understand it. So anyway, cryptocurrency now, guys, if you're going to make money off of it, which I don't think there's any real money to be made in it anymore, if you're going to make money in cryptocurrency, do so. But understand that money is not going to be there all the time. If an EMP goes off, kiss your cryptocurrency goodbye. Unless you have in one of those vault things and the power comes back on and you can attach that e-wallet, whatever they call it, then you got your money back. You might have your money back if that didn't get wiped out as well. So, and the argument for cryptocurrency was like, it's for people like you and I, whatever. It wound up going nowhere. Cryptocurrency is garbage. My crypto's up $11. Listen, I had Dogecoin, a Doge, whatever the fuck you want. It was up to $9, and then it dropped right back down to 6 cents. Not $9. I'm sorry. Excuse me. It went up to 9 cents, touching 10, and then it dropped back down to 5. I told myself once it gets to 10 cents or 25 cents, I'm selling it. I'm out. Fuck that. But yeah, guys, cryptocurrency is stupid, especially in this day and age where hackers are going bananas and hacking shit, where China has an army of hackers. In fact, Monday, China just turned on their supercomputer. Now, the supercomputer, I'm not sure what capacity it is, but it is the world's fastest, smartest supercomputer to exist. And China turned it on, if I'm not mistaken, Monday or Tuesday. With that, guys, Thursday, today, we have this phone issue. Yes, there is a thing called coincidences every now and again, but China's been hitting the coincidency bell like all the time. So, again, guys, I don't I don't doubt for a second that this wasn't a cyber attack. I wholeheartedly believe it was a cyber attack, but I need some proof that it was. That's the only thing. I mean, here amongst the inner circle, YouTube here, amongst your friends, even if you have friends that are in the military or in the government agency, they might be able to tell you that it was a cyber attack. But I need to see something that I can read and tangible, something that's confirmed, or have somebody from that field talk to me directly about it. But other than that, Straight Talk. I don't know what Straight Talk is. Boomer Rumor says Straight Talk was having problems providing data so much that when you call, in the first words you hear is having problems with data, and then some bullshit that he wrote at the end. I don't know what Straight Talk is. Yes, Wolf Mule. I know about that. They have an army of dudes that sit there in China, and they're like, their dedication to cyber attacks. That is what their whole mission is a cyber attack unit, and it's something like hundreds or thousands of dudes that sit in a room cyber attacking all the time. Listen, guys, the cyber attacking thing is undoubtedly going to unfold, right? We're undoubtedly going to experience a real cyber attack, unfortunately. So Adriana just put a link in the chat. I'm going to hit it, and hopefully my laptop doesn't, doesn't explode. But pharmacy nationwide faces delays as healthcare tech companies report cyber attack. And that was today. Change Healthcare said it became aware of the outside threat on Wednesday morning, disconnecting their system for security purposes. Change Healthcare, a company handling orders and patient payment throughout the U.S., first noticed cyber security issues affecting its network Monday morning on the East Coast. Change Healthcare is experiencing a network interruption related to a cybersecurity issue, and our experts are working to address the matter. Once we became aware of the outside threat, in the interest of protecting our partners and patient, we took immediate action and disconnected our system to prevent further impact. That's interesting. Didn't know about it. And again, guys, this shit goes on all the time. All the time, there's a cyber attack going on. And one day, guys, it's going to be the mother of all cyber attacks. Like that fucking movie. I can't think of the movie right now. White something or another. Nope, that's the wrong movie. Leave the World Behind. Right. I'm thinking of White. Is it White Noise? The one with Adam Driver. And it was like a weird fucking movie. Straight Talk is a prepaid cell service. Okay. Thank you. Pharmacies across the country will put out a notice that the attack on Change Healthcare is disrupting their ability to process patient orders. So, guys, this is another good example of a cyber attack that can absolutely affect people who are on medications and need their medications. Some people need their medications daily. Some people, weekly, sorry. Some people need their medications monthly. Scott, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. There is currently no public available reports on the nature nor origin of the cyber security issue plaguing Change Healthcare. There is a nationwide outage from some of the largest prescription processors in North America. Michigan-based Canadian Lake Pharmacy wrote that on Wednesday. So apparently, guys, this is something else that it can definitely screw up and jam up people, and people will not be able to get their prescriptions processed. This can be a gigantic issue down the line. All right, where are we? Scott Timson. Sorry. A couple things. WEF has been pumping the cyber attack stuff. They would love the public to panic over cyber attacks so that they can be the savior. Also, Bitcoin has never been hacked, unlike fiat banks. Yes, Bitcoin has never been hacked, but Bitcoin is run by what? Computers. Bitcoin is not tangible. We all know this. So if an EMP goes out, Bitcoin is done. Simple. The currency that we currently carry in our pocket, yes, which is fake, won't go anywhere. Though it'll probably be useless during a EMP attack. Nonetheless, it's something tangible in my hand, fake or not. Bitcoin, it's made up, guys. It's air. It doesn't really exist. A guy sat there at a computer, put ones and zeros together, and made this coin up. And yes, a coin that is unhackable for now. Anything on the internet, guys, can and will be hacked. It's just a matter of time. There are cyber nerds, as we speak, in the basement, screaming at their mother that they want meatloaf as they're hacking their little hearts away to try to crack Bitcoin. Bitcoin will eventually be hacked. As simple as that. Anything in the digital world, guys, will be hacked. Simple. And I don't follow Bitcoin enough. To know whether or not it has been hacked. I haven't heard anything, but somebody just said it's been hacked constantly. And yes, Tammy Brennan says get a landline. Yes, if you have a landline, keep it up and running. I know that we have a landline here, but my mother just shut it down. After almost 50 years, she just shut it down. So I'll see if I can get it up and running again. Travis says that there's an X6 flare inbound tonight. I'm not worried about flares. Every time someone notifies me of a giant flare coming out, it doesn't really do anything to us. We get minor disruption. We don't get anything crazy. I'm not sure where the X6 flare lies. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. I am, guys, I don't give a shit as long as you're prepared. Because guys, there's so many things that are going to happen. There's so many things that we're not going to see happen. And all we can do is be prepared. Yes, it is good to know what could be headed our way so that at least in the back of our heads, we know how to negotiate it. But if the power shuts off right now, my brain is instantaneously going to go to EMP. If I look out the window and everything's black, and I don't see you guys anymore, you guys don't see me, I'm going to think EMP, and I'm going to go into EMP protocol first while trying to establish what's really going on. And that's how you should treat everything, right? I mean, if anything goes on, I mean, listen, you live in a small town where the power is always going out, you know that you're going to treat it as a blackout because you're used to it. But if I look right now and everything goes out and I don't see a fucking light for miles, I'm going to sit there and go, all right, this is an EMP attack until otherwise. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh man, this is just a blackout. I'm going to wait and see what happens and sit here hoping for the power to come back on. I'm not doing that. I'm going to go into EMP mode and start establishing things that need to be established and putting things out and putting things together. That's how I operate. And then if it doesn't get that bad, or the power comes back on a few hours later, a few days later, all right, then I put everything back and then wait for the next event to happen. So, again, is somebody really starting with the sun is flat? Bullshit. I just caught someone saying the sun is not flat. But, yeah, guys, a lot's going on. Prep to adapt. You didn't have to do that. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. And that's the other thing, too, guys. Highland, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. So I know a lot of guys at work, some guys watch this, and they're like, people actually donate to you? And I go, yes, they do. And I'm even surprised when people don't. Even to this day, I'm still surprised people donate to me. But guys at my job are like, people really listen to you and donate to you? I go, I guess, yeah. I mean, you guys sometimes you're watching it, you see it, you know. But yeah, even when I get a donation, I'm still surprised. Because even in my head, I'm like, people donating me? That's cool. And I find it very cool. And I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. But, like I said before, you don't have to. Times are hard. I think times are going to get a lot tougher. So you could take the donation and buy yourself an extra can of Spam if you like that shit. or beans or whatever it is you eat. But I also always do appreciate it. But yeah, every time guys break my balls about it, they did some of the one. I remember it was a lieutenant. He had a hard time understanding that people even watched me, because the look on his face, he had this bewildered look on his face for like a straight half hour. He was just like, he's like, people watch you? And then I told him how many subscribers I got. He goes, you got that many people who follow you? I go, well, not everybody, likes me. I think some people follow me to hate me. And he just had this bewildered look on his face. Listen, sometimes I'm bewildered. When I look at I'm like, damn, I got that many people that follow me? I'm like, that's crazy. It is. But to help this channel grow a little more, because I know some of you guys are paying attention to my subscriber, as Prepper Revelator pointed out to me earlier, and even I know it, but I sort of don't give a fuck. Start making comments in the comment section if you can, pertaining to the video. I have to say that because somebody will sit there and be like, I like ham and cheese. I don't care. Pertaining to the video. And if you have a story pertaining to that video, for example, if anything interesting happened to you today in regards to what happened with the power outage, the cell phone outage, please write it in the comment section. It helps out with the algorithm big time. And I knew that a while back, but now I'm starting to push it, because it's like, if it helps with the algorithm and it helps grow the channel, and the more people, guys, that I reach, hopefully I can help more people. I guess. I don't know. Or I can entertain people, rather. Let's put it like that. Furman, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. As always, thank you. Round doesn't necessarily... Okay, now that conversation starting. No, thank you. But, some people like to text me while I'm doing my live stream. No cell phone outage in Tampa. ABG Prepping, you sent me something. I got to read it. I'm sorry. I saw the email and I meant to get back to it, and I was at work, and whatever. We got a little busy, but I will read what you sent me. Thank you. And yeah. So sorry, guys. I meant to be talking about something completely different tonight. I didn't really want to go... I wanted to talk about what was going on today. And actually, I did have an article. But what I want to also talk about is how some people are thinking that this could be a Chinese attack. And if the Chinese do cyber attack us, it will be 100 times worse than what happened today. And of course, the FBI is now investigating whether this was a solar flare or cyber attack. Again, guys, cyber attack is a little more logical, makes more sense. Okay, did I freeze or am I still good? Let me know, because it looks like I froze here. Oh, okay, I didn't. I paused myself. What an idiot. Anyway, guys, so AT&T service restored after customers hit by widespread cellular outage in the United States. Over 70,000, not 700,000, sorry. I said 700,000 earlier. Over 70,000 AT&T outages were reported just before 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, with most issues reported in Houston, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, and Atlanta, according to the tracking site Downtector. Again, there were a couple here in New York as well. At least my phone went to SOS mode here in New York. Thank you guys for the 5x5. Appreciate it. AT&T's network suffered widespread outage across the country Thursday morning with cellular service and internet down, according to the tracking site. Other cellular providers, including Verizon, T-Mobile, and Cricket, who the fuck still has Cricket? Anyway, wireless service was also reporting outages. Verizon, T-Mobile said those affected had been trying to contact AT&T users. Whatever, dude. AT&T reported service had been restored at all customers affected at the outage late Thursday afternoon. It remains unclear what triggered the service disruption. Now, here's the other thing, guys. AT&T knows exactly what affected them. All phone services, guys, knows what they're being attacked by, who they're being attacked by, so they know what's going on. So when they say shit like they don't know what triggered the service disruption, they are absolutely full of shit. But do we expect these services? Sorry. Do we expect these services to be honest with us? No. Wolf Mule said just a few in Australia as well. All right. And Mr. Nobody, clearly watching the movie Hackers, Hack the Planet. Yo, by the way, side note, Mr. Nobody, I was watching that movie the other day. That is a horrible fucking movie. When I was a kid, I thought it was cool. And Angelina Jolie was in it, and she was super hot back then. But I was like, that was a cool movie. Now I look at it, I'm like, that's a cornball fucking movie. I want to punch myself in the face for liking that movie back then. Anyway. Over 32,000 AT&T outages were reported by customers at about 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday morning. Reports dipped, then spiked again to more than 50,000 around 7 a.m., with most issues reporting in Houston, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, and Atlanta. Again, New York wasn't put into this. I don't know why. The number surged to 71,000 just before 8 a.m. AT&T acknowledged the issue Thursday morning, saying some of our customers are experiencing wireless service interruptions this morning. A little over 1,100 T-Mobile outages and 3,000 Verizon outages were reported as of 7 a.m. Thursday. Verizon said Thursday morning that the outages are not affected its network directly, only customers trying to reach another carrier service, which is AT&T. Cricket. Again, who in the fuck has Cricket? Whatever. Cricket Wireless, which is owned by AT&T, used its network, also experiencing cellular problems. More than 13,000 customers reported outages as of 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. The number dipped to around 10,000 by 10 a.m. Allow us to explain that there is a nationwide network incident impacting multiple services. This was written by Cricket on X, or formerly known as Twitter. It is Cricket's top priority to restore service to full capacity, no shit, as quickly and safely as possible. Is there a dangerous way to reconnect the cell service? I like to know that, because every time people say, we're going to get the service up and running safely and quickly, I'm like, is there a dangerous way to get this shit? I don't know. Yeah, Jay Ross, what is there? 3 Cricket users? Maybe 2 of them are on here watching this. I have Cricket. Okay. Whenever I see someone with Cricket, I'm like, you cheap bastard. Fucking Cricket service. Here's the meat and potatoes of it. This is where it gets a little more interesting. AT&T, again, they know what happened, has not revealed what triggered the nationwide service disruption, though the U.S. Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency said there is no indication of a cyber attack. We know it was a cyber attack, fuck faces, but they're going to continue to lie to us, so whatever. Federal Communication Commission is actively investigating the incident. The Federal Bureau, the FBI, and Department of Homeland Security are merging hands and seeing what happened. They're kumbayaing this shit to see what happened. They know what it was, guys. AT&T knows exactly what it was. They called the FBI and Homeland Security and were like, this is a hack, and it looks like the source was from China. And now the FBI, of course, steps in, and Homeland Security is stepping in. Had it been nothing, those 2 agencies wouldn't have stepped in. If it was a security update or a software update, those 2 agencies would not have stepped in. Outages pose a concern to some customers Thursday morning who may have been unable to reach 911 in the event of an emergency. Womp womp. The San Francisco Fire Department said on X that it was aware of the issue affecting AT&T wireless customer and making and receiving phone calls, including 911. Though my phone went to SOS, I should have called 911 to see if it worked. I did call 611, which is, if I'm not mistaken, AT&T's like phone service, and it didn't even go through. Anyway, guys, Rubio warns Chinese cyber attack, and now we're switching gears because obviously, this bullshit. Oh, Apple support confirms that iPhone users seeing SOS displayed in their status bar can still make emergency calls through to other carrier networks. Oh, through other carrier networks. Agencies across the country urge people to refrain from using 911 to test their service. I was about to do that. Or rather, I should have done that too. The line is for real emergencies only. Fair enough. But listen, the other day, and I didn't notice, and I found this out just 2 days ago, you can text 911 here in New York. Now, I know that other cities were doing that. You were able to text 911. So, of course, like the asshole I am, I text 911. And when I text 911, this was a response I got. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. I text 911 and I just put test. They replied in an automated reply, 911, call 911 if you can, text only if you cannot. And then 911 gets back to me, do you need police or fire? Medical. Police, fire, or medical? I go, neither, just testing the system. They go, okay. And then they ended the session immediately. I'm pretty sure they were calling me an asshole behind that. Nonetheless, you can text 911 if you absolutely need to. Other than that, you call 911. Now, if you're in a home and there's a home invasion going on and you're hiding, that's when you call. That's when you text 911. Yeah, please don't text 911 just to see if it works. Don't be the asshole that I was and text them. I just wanted to see if it worked, and it did. But they didn't announce it. Normally they announce it, or maybe I missed the announcement. I don't know. But whatever. GOP Senator Mark Rubio warned on social media that AT&T outage affecting tens of thousands of Americans pales in comparison to what a potential Chinese cyber attack would look like. I don't know the cause of the AT&T outage. Yes, he does. The Florida Republican posted on X Thursday, but I do know it will be 100 times worse when hashtag China launches a cyber attack on America on the eve of a Taiwan invasion. And it won't be just cell service they hit, it will be your power, your water, and your banks. Rubio's warning comes as tens of thousands of AT&T customers reported outages on Thursday morning of their home phones, internet, and mobile phone services being disrupted. Outages started popping up around 3:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, according to the graph shown on a website that tracks outages. I didn't know there was a website that tracked outages. Most users, 54%, said they were having issues with their mobile phone services. More than a third of the customers reporting being affected said that they had no signal at all, and 8% of the users said their mobile internet was down as well. Such as life. More than 74,000 AT&T users reported an outage to Down Detector as of 9:30 a.m. I didn't report it. I don't see the fucking reason to report it, but whatever. Early this month, FBI Christopher Wray warned that China's cyber attack against the U.S. is coming and that its allies are reaching a fever pitch. Oh no, what are we going to do? Guys, the fact that they keep warning us about a cyber attack when, in fact, cyber attacks are supposed to be a surprise attack. So if they keep warning us about a cyber attack, that means they know what's coming. That means they are equally responsible if a cyber attack goes down and it takes out our power and water supply. Now, the stupid excuse earlier today came out, guys, that it was a solar flare. They went with the solar flare attack, and people believed it. Just like people who believe the world is fucking flat, those idiots, those are the same morons that believe that this was a solar flare. If you believe this was a solar flare, do me a favor and dial 1 and get the fuck off my internet. No, I'm just kidding. But listen, guys, it's easier to believe anything the government is going to tell you. You know, it's easier to believe whatever the person's going to tell you. All right? If you are scared and someone gives you what seemingly rational excuse, you're going to believe it. Period. All right, guys. And this is from Christopher Wray. China-sponsored hackers pre-positioned for potential cyber attack against the U.S. oil and natural gas company way back in 2011. But these days, it's reached something closer to a fever pitch, he continued. What we're seeing now is China's increased build-out of offensive weapons within our critical infrastructure. Now, I have to say this, guys. A cyber attack might not be something that we wholeheartedly, a lot of us wholeheartedly believe that when a cyber attack starts, it's going to last for days. It's going to last for months and years. It might not, guys. A cyber attack might be a hostage negotiation, or might start a hostage negotiation. Sorry. So China will cyber attack us, lock all our shit up, put drawbridges in the open section. Sorry, it'll put it up in the open position. Sorry, and they'll stop power to a lot of places, stop water to a lot of places, stop traffic, transponders on planes, the whole 9 yards. And they'll hold us hostage until they get what they want. It can also look like that. It might not look like a movie where everything goes into a pandemonium. Things will go into pandemonium if they do that, but it will be more of a hostage negotiation than anything else. Someone just said something. When your cricket phone dies, you can eat it for protein. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. That was funny. Print your bank statements. Catgirl made a good point. Print your bank statements, guys, so that you know what you last have. Though I do suspect if banks get wiped out, you're not getting your money back. But like Catgirl said, definitely print out your bank statement. Whatever finances you have, print out those statements. Because you never know. For white now. Anyway, guys. So next article, AT&T outages prompt urgent investigation into possible cyber attack. I am going to put this link in the chat for those of you that are interested in reading it. I didn't get the link for the other article I read. I do apologize about that, trying to get better. So that you guys can read this information as well and either see through its bullshit or come up with your own conclusion. A network disruption affected AT&T customers in the United States Thursday, prompting federal agents to investigate whether the outage was caused by a cyber attack. In a statement to ABC News, the company confirmed that the outages and advised customers to make calls over Wi-Fi. Some of our customers are experiencing wireless service interruption this morning. We are working urgently to restore service to them. Late Thursday afternoon, AT&T issued an update saying that the network was back and fully restored. Now, guys, if this was in fact a cyber attack and the healthcare system or the Change Healthcare was also attacked, again, people who process subscriptions and payments, they were also attacked. This is definitely the Chinese. The Chinese doing Chinese shit, Chinesing as we speak. Because why not? They want to get this country and they want to own us. And how do you own us? Well, you put the screws to us. You shut down all of our services. You watch us sweat. You watch us panic. You watch us break into pandemonium. And then you come in as a savior, or you come in and negotiate with the United States as to what you want. And they want Taiwan. And how are they going to get Taiwan? Well, they're going to take Taiwan, and they don't want us to intervene. So what do? You launch a cyber attack. You make sure we don't attack Taiwan or defend Taiwan in any capacity. Or, like somebody said here earlier, when they attack Taiwan, they also launch a cyber attack, completely cutting us off. So, guys, the cyber attack, as you will, as of 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the U.S. Cyber Attack and Infrastructure Security Agency reported, according to a confidential memo obtained by ABC News, that the cause of the outage is unknown and there is no indication of malicious activity. This was by 5 a.m. I'm going to tell you right now, they know exactly what the fuck it was. These people, you can't scratch your left nut without them not knowing you did it. So that means, guys, that they sit here and try to make it look official by saying they gathered intelligence or they got a memo stating at 5 a.m. what it was. They're full of shit. They know exactly what it was. The FCC has been in touch with AT&T and conversations are ongoing to figure out what's causing today's outage, according to National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby. This afternoon, Kirby told reporters that the DHS and the FBI are looking into the outage as well and are working with the tech industry and network providers to see what can be done. Now, the other thing, guys, is Facebook and Instagram, one is the same, but Facebook Elon Musk knows exactly what caused this as well because they're in the know. They have tech guys, and Facebook, they have tech that far reaches what the FBI and the DHS does. I can guarantee you, fucking what's his name? No, Mark Zuckerberg knows exactly what's going on. So they can ask him too, and I'm pretty sure they did ask him. You know, behind closed doors, under the table messages, on the black phones, whatever it is, he knows what's going on as well. So basically, guys, the AT&T server serves more than 100 million customers across the mobile and broadband services. Only 70,000 were affected out of the 100 million customers, which is not bad. Now, did a strong solar flare cause the AT&T outage? This is where it gets interesting because a space expert are debunking claims that two powerful solar flares that erupted overnight caused a nationwide solar outage. Now, the solar flare, guys, was last night. So I think some of you guys that were warning about one coming, I think this is the one that they're talking about. Thursday morning. Okay, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association Space Weather Prediction Center has issued a statement that the outage affecting thousands of AT&T and Verizon customers in the U.S. is most likely not related to the two X flares, the strongest types of solar flares emitted from the sun Wednesday at 5:07 p.m. Central Standard Time and 12:32 a.m. on Thursday Central Standard Time. So there are two solar flares, and both of them should have hit here already, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. But anyway, guys, it's a shit show, and people are going on with their day. I don't think anyone's panicking anymore. I hope not. But I know that there were a couple TikTokers and YouTubers flipping out. And there was a couple of Instagrammers that were flipping out as well. We're still here. The world didn't implode. I'm not eating myself. I'm not running around naked and screaming and no technology. It's all good. That being talking about eating myself and starving, by the way, the New York City truck strike, guys, did nothing. If a couple of truckers did stand their ground, it didn't affect us at all. I didn't see any empty shelves. I still saw trucks making their deliveries. I didn't see anybody or any other big company partaking in this. Nothing happened. I'm wondering if truckers who were going to do this, those truckers, private truckers that own their own cabs and take jobs here and there, I'm pretty sure they just took a week off. That's all they did. They didn't stop anything. They didn't change anything. You're never going to change anything. Because these people do not care. And that is the bottom line. A lot of people seem to think that the truckers that did it, even if it was 100 truckers, guys, it didn't make a dent. Nothing happened. It is what it is. I think the days of men standing their ground is gone. The Last of Us, this is it. And the next generation, there'll be way less. And then the generation after that, even lesser. There are no longer guys who will stand their ground. Those guys are all dead and gone. And those of us who are still around, that's it. We are it. I don't see people standing their ground anymore. We are comfortable creatures, guys. We were given this society so that we could be comfortable, so that we won't fight back. Because a lot of people go and immediately say the first thing out of their mouth is, I don't want to lose my job. I got a mortgage to pay. That's the first thing out of their mouth. And nobody wants to give anything up anymore. Nobody knows what sacrifice is. Some people do, but not many people know what sacrifice is. And that's the hard shit. To get people to sacrifice, like I said in Tuesday's live stream, to get people to sacrifice isn't going to happen. It just isn't. People don't want to sacrifice them. People want to be comfortable. People don't want to be bothered. People want to go home to their apartments or go home to their houses, go in their backyard barbecue, light their little fucking me stove, right? And then have their whiskey or beer, and that's it. Nobody wants to fight the fight anymore. And that's just the bottom line. Uh, and when guys were talking about boycotting, of course, you had YouTubers. They're like, yo, they're boycotting. What are you going to do? I'm like, what? First of all, I'm not a fucking trucker, so I'm not doing shit. Secondly, if I had a truck, would I have done this? Yes. I would absolutely avoid it in New York. Would it have had an effect? No. But at least I could have slept well at night knowing that I backed up a dude who also backed down, by the way. He also backed down. He, you know, that the guy with the serious face with the Trump hat on and the shades, looking like he was a Billy Badass, was like, we are not going. And he said we. So this motherfucker was speaking French because he said we are not going to deliver and this and that, and then completely backpedaled the next day. Now, to his credit, or to his defense, he could have backpedaled because the Teamsters got a hold of him, right? If fucking the Fauci, not the Fauci, but the Bellucci family or the Capones got a hold of him and were like, listen, fucko, pizza up the ass and a cannoli down your throat. Stop. And then he was like, shit, they're threatening me. Or they told him, like I was discussing with the Prepper Revelator, or they got to him and they're like, listen, you never work another fucking trucking company again if you don't cut this shit out, fucko. And then he was like, shit, and then he backpedaled. It could have been that as well. Right? But again, I didn't think about the Teamsters until he started backpedaling, and I was like, shit. They could have got to him. And they could have got to any one of those guys that were thinking about fucking backpedaling out. Those guys would have 86 you right away. And listen, guys, there's enough migrants who will drive trucks. Just saying. People are, but they're not even certified to. It don't matter. They got a Chinese lady in charge of an election committee in San Francisco, and they're hiring illegal immigrants to be cops who are not legal, so they can't have a gun, but they can be police officers. They're going to have illegals drive trucks if they want to. So just know that, guys. Don't put anything past these people. Don't put anything past these animals who want to collapse society, who want to keep the border open so that they keep flooding the lifeboat and sinking the lifeboat. I did a video on the Angry Truth channel about us being a lifeboat about 2 years ago. From that video to now, things have gotten 10 times worse. All right, maybe 5 times worse. Nonetheless, guys, here we are. Hopefully this will hold. I forgot to plug my laptop in. So if I suddenly shut off in the next 2 minutes, I apologize. But Adriana, thank you for the 7-minute heads up. Appreciate it. But yeah, guys, it is what it is. So this was in. I know that Johnny308 said he's going to treat this as a cyber attack. Sorry, I will treat it as a cyber attack as well. I can't sit there and say it was confirmed because I haven't read anything that stated it was. Though I do trust anybody saying that it was confirmed. I just need confirmation that it was. I know that we're not going to get it, guys, because these people will not admit to anything. They just won't. Johnny308, thank you for the 5 minutes heads up. It was what it was. One day, guys, we're going to wake up in the morning and the power's going to be shut off and the water's not going to be running. If you live off-grid, you don't have to worry about this. You'll just know when you turn your internet on and nothing else is on, right? Because you got power but nobody else does. And you can't get a signal anywhere else because the shit's off, right? You might have other homesteaders and other off-gridders who can probably communicate with, but you'll probably have to go right to the ham radio to start communicating to find out what's wrong. While the rest of us are fighting in the city, kung fu fighting and shit for food. Well, I'm not fighting for food, but other people will be fighting for food. Proof of work. Somebody with the Bitcoin argument came an hour late, stating that Bitcoin is listen, Bitcoin is a farce. I don't fucking trust Bitcoin. You can't tell me, guys, that, again, I don't want to get too deep in it, but Bitcoin was a guy that woke up and said, I'm going to create digital currency, and I'm going to create a thin air, And what did he do? He created it out of thin fucking air. If I can't see it, look at it, or touch it, I don't want anything to do with it. Now, and that part is actually a lie because I have Dogecoin. I had Bitcoin for a little while. I got rid of that, or rather, it tanked. And I had Dogecoin. I had a couple other coins. I got rid of them because I'm just like, again, it's ones and zeros, guys, that do not exist. And some people are like, well, you can't see oxygen. Don't start the oxygen Bitcoin argument. That's the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard of. I can't breathe or eat Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a farce, guys. And a lot of people made money off it. And guess what? Bitcoin is now out of reach, out of the poor people who are supposed to be funding it, who are supposed to have that because it was meant for poor people. Now it's all about the rich. They hijack Bitcoin. Yeah, a lot of Bitcoin people don't understand that Bitcoin is not real. It's not a tangible item. It does not exist. It can translate into a tangible item, but it's not a tangible item. It doesn't exist. A guy made it up out of thin air. And that's the bottom line, guys. No electricity, no Bitcoin. No electricity, no NFTs. It doesn't exist. Right? My credit cards won't exist if the power goes out. My ATM card will not work and or exist if the power goes out. Only hard cash, gold coins, and silver will work. And cash will work for a little while until, depending on how long that disaster lasts, cash will start to become useless. But within the first couple of days, weeks, maybe months, cash will still be good. We go. Did she really fucking write me that anyway? Fucking one of my kids' mother breaking my balls. But we need a plan. We have a plan. We have a fucking plan. I just didn't tell you about it. But anyway, but yes, the longer that the disaster goes, guys, the less cash is going to be worth anything. But silver and gold will still be worth for those who have. So anyway, we're about to go off the air in 2 minutes, and I think my computer is down to 10%. I think I got 10 minutes left. Again, guys, if this cuts off, so be it. I'll run and get my charger before I start the Angry Truth, which I'm going to start almost immediately. But yeah, so anyway, guys, I will be back on, I think, next Tuesday. Yes, I'm available next Tuesday and available next Thursday. So, well, maybe not next Thursday. Thursday I have a party to go to, so I won't be available next Thursday. But I'll be available next Tuesday and hopefully Friday night. If not, I'll do a rare Saturday night event live stream. But we shall see. And then next Wednesday I will have a midweek report. Next Wednesday I'm trying to get back to that. I'm going to work on my shit. I'm going to end it now because I'm about to go off in about 1 minute. It's about to go dark. So we have 1 minute left. Let me end this live stream now. Run and get my charger. I will see you guys next week. And that's that. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. And I will see a lot of you guys in a couple of minutes once I go get my charger. All right, guys? Thank you.